Warning: the following program may contain material not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Kill the noise and cut the static. Broadcasting from high in the mountains of West Virginia, we're leaving the 9 to 5 in the rearview mirror. The engine is warm, the lights are green, and it's finally time to shift your Wednesday into overdrive. And now, here's your host, Diego the Podcaster.
On this episode of Bonus Overdrive Wednesday, with 20 plus albums to his name, our guest is a musician, writer, director, and filmmaker. He's currently working on his latest feature, a toy maker. Also, we're going to get into some Astro-Zombie Overdrive and the much anticipated Mutant Mall Cops. All this plus more. Please welcome our good friend, musician and filmmaker, Evan Allen. Evan, my friend, welcome to Bonus Overdrive Wednesday.
All right, thanks for having me, Diego. Again.
Yeah, man, it's been a while.
Back.
Last I saw you,
at least a year or something like that.
It's been a little over a year, and as we were talking on the pre-interview, Rust Feeder just came out at that point. It's a rather new song, and then you were just getting started. I don't know if the script was about to be ending, or you were talking about making a toy maker that time.
That's right. Yep, we ended up going over to Texas there to my buddy's stunt ranch, Mark Anthony, and we did it. We raised the money. We went and shot a toy maker. Poster behind me there. There's one of the older posters. We've got some more updated ones now too, with the actors on them and stuff like that. We had a blast. We blew up cars. We shot people. We had heads explode. We had some amazing fight scenes. Scene 66A actually took 3 days. It was insane. I think the final edit, that fight sequence is over 12 minutes long. Might be 15 minutes. I have to look at it again, but it's absolutely insane. And we had a lot of fun filming out there. People came from all over the country, some from Canada, all over the USA. So amazing actors, Otis B. Dreads, Lydia Manson, Dan J. McDougal, and so many more. Mark Anthony, he was a bad guy again in this one. He was a bad guy in Six Wheels from Hell, a bad guy in A Toy Maker as well.
Now, I kind of cheated because I kind of already know what the movie's about, and I remember from the last time. But for those that may have missed that episode, and if they want to go back in time in the vault, check out that episode. With the toy maker, not only do you have the movie, but there's also a soundtrack. But for those that just learning about it now, can you tell us a little bit about that film?
Yeah, A Toy Maker is about a toy maker and his brand new apprentice, who he gave a toy to when he was a child. She applies for a job with him, but right around the same time when this kind of evil real estate developer rolls into town, and he's buying up or forcing people out of their businesses with force most of the time until people give in. But the toy maker and his apprentice ain't having it, and they fight back, and they end up turning some of his goons into human marionettes. It gets a little dark. And as for soundtrack stuff, we have a record with a bunch of songs from the movie in it as well. There's a couple CDs. So there's 2 CDs and the record. They have different songs on all of them. And there's also a Madison's Angry mixtape volume 666, which you can order these, and I have them manufactured. Couldn't find I don't know where the case went for this one, but so I'm also building a new website for Cybert Entertainment, so it'll just be cybertentertainment.com. We're still working on it, but once that's out, then all that stuff will be available online for purchase, and t-shirts and all sorts of stuff, and calendars, you name it, we got it. One of the custom T-shirts. I've been making all sorts of different kinds of merch for this movie. That's one of our Bob Butler. He's Sheriff Romero in the movie. I Am the Law. He's got his own theme song. A lot of the characters have their own theme song in the movie too, which is cool. I'll show you a bit of the calendar because it gives a little bit of away here, but it's kind of cool. And we have some funny scenes in the movie as well. That was a dude playing Gary. That scene is absolutely hilarious. And there's one of our sheriff's deputies. He's a little not quite right in the head, but he's a sweet kid. The swine crew, that's our motorcycle gang. There's just a couple of our main characters doing the little Easter thing. That's not in the movie. That's just for the calendar. What else we got here? We've got one of our grandmas is a badass in the movie. This movie is going to be hilarious and funny, emotional at the same time. Some of our goons. Right there, we've got Rashad Evans from the UFC. And Robert Lasordo. He's in like 200 movies. Dude writes and directs his own movies too. A bunch of other awesome bad guys in there. Some of our goons. There's our sheriff again. I Am the Law. Sorry if it's a little out of focus. We had a lot of fun making this movie. This scene is going to be hilarious. A couple of our goons, that's a screenshot actually. There's our veterinarian and a couple of the doctors and one of these guys who just kind of shows up at the wrong place at the wrong time. In the movie a bunch, There's one of our human and marionettes. That's Robert Lasorda. It's kind of cool. It's like show and tell right now.
Oh no, I'm digging it so far. Keep going.
Yeah, there's one of our bad guys. Happy Thanksgiving, me your town turkeys. I have way too much fun with this stuff. And there's our toy maker again. Yeah, there's no Christmas scenes in this one, but we had to add that in the calendar at least.
Well, I mean, the holidays are just around the corner as fast as this year is going, so it's proper for it to be released here soon.
Yep.
So with the movie coming out here soon, and you've already finished filming, and you did the soundtrack. Normally, I mean, all your films, your projects, you make your own music, correct?
Yeah, I used to sing in bands up in Canada all the time in a band called Yeah Whatever. And I did that for a long time. We did a lot of music for TV shows and movies like Lost Boys the Tribe, Blood Ties vampire TV show. We did some cameos in some TV shows and movies as well as the band and things like that. Now I use AI to make some music. And I also used other bands too, like Six Wheels from Hell has music from people from Brazil, has bands from Canada and the USA. This one I'm doing the music on myself. Yes, I am using AI. And, I know a lot of people don't like the AI thing, but I've been there, done that, spent my whole life in music and movies. And this is just a new form of doing things. As an indie filmmaker, it saves us thousands and thousands of dollars that we don't have, right? Don't have to go into the studio anymore for some things. And, it's a tool that can help indie filmmakers. I understand that a lot of rich filmmakers don't like it, which is fine because they can just pay for whatever they need to and have it done professionally or whatever, right? So there's a thing there, right? It's like I'll use it for some things, but I won't use it for other things. I'll never use AI to write lyrics. I'll never use it to write a script. That's all got to come from up here. But I will use it for music. And I actually went to school for 3D animation as well, so I have a different perspective there too. Some people are like, well, the 3D animators aren't going to have jobs anymore. Well, I was a 3D animator. I didn't really pursue it, but I went to school for it, did it a little bit. But man, was it a ridiculous amount of work to achieve something that's like 30 cents. So I'll shoot everything practical. I may enhance a few things here and there with AI, but I'm not going to rely on it. I think AI is great for crowdfunding, to be able to do a bunch of graphics and concepts, to go out and get the money, to go then and shoot it practically, that kind of thing, right? So I don't know, I got an AI thing there, but I guess, being honest with how I make my music now, that's how I do it. But sometimes I use real bands too, so I just kind of go back and forth between the two. So
No, and honestly, it depends who you talk to. I personally don't have an issue with AI music or anything, and I'll tell you this though, because like for this show, this is a very small production of what I have, and I cannot afford to pay somebody to make me cover work each time for as many episodes as I release. It would cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars. Where
right.
I can do it myself, but all the ideas come from me. I have to direct the AI how to do things, and I've taken my hand at creating some AI music as well for background or music beds or
Mhm.
potential videos just for fun. And I think it's a great creative outlet because again, I can't afford to pay somebody to do something. It's going to cost me several grand where I can probably do it really pennies on the dollar if you think about it.
Yeah, exactly, right. Like we still pay our monthly subscriptions to these
Yeah.
AI programs and things like that. So we're still paying money. It's not free, right? But it's for our budget. That's all we can do, you know. But yeah, like you just mentioned, also, it's an outlet. I can't stand not creating, so I have to keep creating something and something. And so depending on how I'm feeling, I'll work a couple days and do an album and put that out. And it's so easy, everything's automated now to be able to get your music out to the world. And right now it's it doesn't pay a lot of money, but it's putting gas in the car every month. It's helping me put my son in hockey. It's helping me put him in baseball, that kind of thing. But like some albums, I'm like, oh, they're fun. Some of them are a little darker, depending on how I'm feeling. And my latest one I just put out today, it's about loss because I've lost some people in my family this summer. Four people, like one a month. So it's been pretty brutal. So it's kind of how I cope with that kind of stuff, is through music. And so the next album, a little more sadder than the other ones, right? But but if it helps other people cope with the loss too, I really like that. And it's gathering a small following, and every month I'm making a little bit more and a little bit more, which is helping with the things I need to pay for. And but I can see the statistics of where it's being played all over the world, places you wouldn't think too, like Egypt and Libya and like all these crazy like different countries that I'm like, what? How did they even get a hold of my music there? But it's pretty cool.
It is. It's pretty cool to look at the metrics on performance. Like you can do the same thing with like podcasting and stuff. And like I said, some countries like, how did they hear about me?
Mhm.
I don't know how, but I'm glad that they did.
Mhm.
And it's great to see your work getting out there. And speaking of albums, I know you just released a new one.
Mhm.
Let's go to one that caught my attention. I don't. I'm gonna say I don't remember how I found out about it, but I went on your socials and then I saw the cover for
Mhm.
Astro-Zombie Overdrive.
Yeah,
So I
that
wanted to
was
check it
fun.
out.
I was just having so much fun. Yeah.
That album, I haven't stopped listening to it all week long. It is is entertaining, is energetic, it's heavy, and it's I don't know, it's kind of like its own little universe.
Yeah, I think so. That's kind of what keeps happening with my albums. It's almost like each one is its own soundtrack. And I think that kind of stems from doing movies all the time, right? So instead of just every album sounding exactly the same over and over and over again, I've been, just theming each one. There's like this latest one, Departed, is about loss. The one before that, Entryism, is kind of about the state of the world and all sorts of just messed up kind of how all countries are like just losing identity and things like that. Before that, the album was Beautiful Things. It was just about how beautiful life actually is. Right before that was Astro-Zombie Overdrive. And that one was just, total Rob Zombie inspired. Power Man 5000, Hot Rods, and Toxic Avenger kind of stuff. And before that, it was The Evil Ones, which was just about just evil in this world, that kind of stuff. And then there's a bunch more before that, and they're all slightly different. And I had one that was like all film noir kind of songs and music, and Viking, and they just keep going back, and I just like changing it up all the time. I just can't stop writing. Like, it's just my brain will not let me stop making music and songs.
Nor should you. We can't stop doing this stuff, man, because this is our therapy. This is how we get through things,
It is.
creating.
It's definitely our therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go back to Astro Zombie real quick because Overdrive. I like the whole thing with Overdrive. It kind of goes with the theme here. I can relate to one of the songs, Hex from My Ex.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm listening to it, it's like, oh, son of a gun. I know what this is about. And kind of lived that life a little bit, but that was a lot of fun for that. And then what was it? We're 26 now. This year, was it 3 albums this year?
It's probably more than that. Man, I've been doing at least one a month. Sometimes I listen to YouTube music. That's what I do. Sometimes they don't make it on there for some reason. But they all make it on Spotify. So if you have one music thing, you might miss an album or 2 or 3 because it's just, I don't know why, but sometimes they skip an album or 2 and then the next one's on YouTube music. So I don't understand why some of them make it and some of them don't. It could be a timing thing because some of them I release them within a week and maybe they need more time and then they just skip it, or seems like Spotify has all the albums on there. But
yeah, that's probably why I should really. I mean, I'm on Spotify, but I don't have a subscription of Spotify. But I did notice that on Amazon Music, I think it's the same thing with what you're talking about because it shows as Astro as being the latest one. It's the last I looked.
And I did have one album that was kind of based on just the USA and soldiers and fighting for this country and things like that, and I can't really find it anywhere. It was like not allowed on some of the music places. I don't know. So there's albums that I've made that have never seen the day of light because they're very hard to find. You can find them, but they're very hard to find because for whatever reason they didn't make it onto the platforms.
I guess we'll have to go to physical media at that point.
Yeah, I make so much music though. I really gotta catch up on my physical media. I've got some CDs and a couple albums for Cybrid. Comes from Elastistage from Europe. So people can order some from there. Once I finish this new website, it's going to have links to apps, all the movies, the music, soundtracks, merchandise, things like that. All the stuff that, and I mean, it all just goes back into the same pile to make the next movie, then the next movie, then the next movie, then the next movie.
Well, let me bring this up because I know that from our last conversation, you said any of the songs from Cyber that you create, you can go out there on the road and do them. You can play them, you can sing them, no issue. Would you go back again on the road and
Yeah.
start up another band and just do like a whole set of Cybrid?
Yeah, possibly. For that, I would hire the band, and then obviously the band would have to learn all the music, and yep, I would. I mean, I'm not young anymore. 44 or 45. I can't even remember what I am right now. So it would be quite the task, and I'd have to do it with some backing, so I would be able to put on an incredible show, because the stage show would have to be amazing to match the music. It would probably have to be a record deal or something where there is backing for that kind of thing. So, not a really big fan of record deals and things like that, but if we did put it on the road, it could be pretty big, pretty cool, cinematic, and yeah. So yeah, yes, I can sing all the songs. I used to do it live all the time with Yeah Whatever, and then I've got the Villain X albums that I sang on as well. Yeah. And growing up, I was a really big Weird Al Yankovic fan, and you know how he always was able to change his voice to sound like anybody. I learned from him to do that too. So when it comes to all the AI music that I do, it's just I can sing it all. So, but I'd have to put
Never
my son
say never.
homeschooling and bring him with me on the bus, though, because it's just me and him. Yeah.
Learn on the road. I mean,
Yeah.
but never say never. I mean,
Mhm.
44, 45. That's young to me, brother. So you still
Well,
you got a lot of miles in there.
Yeah, it would be fun. My buddy in Five Finger Death Punch there, I mean, I think he just turned 50, or he's in his 50s now, and he's still rocking the stage, right? So, yeah, maybe I'll talk to him one day, go open for them.
So you're saying there's a chance. That's what all I needed. That 1%.
There's a chance. Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. He just invited me and my son to Rockville, gave us some backstage passes, and so we got to go backstage for Five Finger Death Punch, got to see Guns N' Roses, Godsmack, Stained was there, Alice Cooper. Man, we had a blast. I was always a little bit afraid to take my son, who's only 9, to like a big festival like that, but there was so much open space because the festival grounds were so big that you could like put a blanket down and lay on the grass, or we just went backstage a bunch of times. And so it was really cool.
Yeah. What a great experience for a 9-year-old, or for anybody really. That's one hell of a show that you took him to. So
yeah, we just went to. We had to go deal with his Canadian passport, but because we're down here, it was a whole thing. Went to the Canadian consulate in Los Angeles to go try to do it there while we were in Vegas visiting my mom, and having a little summer vacation too. And that ended up being a week there, and then we had to go to Miami and go get the thing. So it ended up costing thousands of dollars for something that should have cost like $200.
Oh no!
But we finally did it. But when we're like, you know what, Disturbed played a show down there, so I took my son to Disturbed and my mom, and that was awesome. And yeah, he's a pretty lucky kid. He knows he's lucky too, so I let him know that he's pretty lucky and spoiled, and so he doesn't take that for granted. But his first show was Tool. His second show, Pussifer, and then he's seen Primus now, and we're on his birthday next month. We're going to Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson and Avenged Sevenfold as well. And he's seen a bunch of wicked rock bands. He still likes, like kid music too, but he's loving the rock and his own little whatever YouTube songs he likes to, and he plays those. But
That's a lucky kid. No, I mean, three monster bands right there that you just mentioned are artists. But now that you got the new albums, you got the movie that's coming out.
Mhm.
So I know you're in post production right now, or are you? How
Yeah.
close are we to release the movie?
Um, I've been editing. It's going to probably be about a 2 hour movie, so it's got a lot of editing, ton, and I do a lot. I do a decent amount of coverage, so it's a lot of footage to go through. I'm probably over half done the rough cut right now, and I'm trying to juggle raising my son and his hockey and baseball and summer stuff we had to do, and then also working on some things on the side for the next movie. But it's coming along. I'm pretty happy if every couple of days I can do like 2-3 scenes, maybe 4 or 5, and just keep going and going. Pretty happy with it so far.
So we're getting close to the finish line here, and with that, because you mentioned something and you sent me some artwork, and I'm thinking, how is he tackling another project? Because between you're finishing a toy maker, you have the albums, and now you sent me something that looks pretty awesome to me. Mega Mutant Mall Cops. Okay, so
Yeah.
let me ask you this: where did this come from?
Well, when I was doing one of my albums there, can't remember the name of it, but it was Toxic Offender, I think. I think it was on that album. Yeah, the Toxic Offender. After I saw the new Toxic Defender movie, kind of had a lot of fun writing that album. And just one of the songs I ended up coming up with was Mega Mutant Mall Cops. I don't know how it came to me, but I was just like, oh, that's kind of catchy. I kind of like it. So I made a song for it, and I made it themed to like the 1980s, Ninja Turtles cartoon, Saturday morning cartoon stuff. And there was a lot of Saturday morning cartoon stuff on that album or another one. Oh man, I've made so many I can't even keep track anymore. And I was just like, man, this is kind of cool, because I have so many different projects that I've already written, ready to go, and a couple other ones I'm kind of writing and developing too. So I was just racking my brain which one I should do next, and then I'm just like, man, I really like this concept. So right now I'm writing a comic book for it, for Mega Mutant Mall Cops. I'm trademarking everything, so that's all being processed right now. And then I'm like, man, this could be like a mix between Ninja Turtles, Toxic Avenger, but totally original story, my own kind of thing. I've developed an energy drink that gets contaminated. It's called Slime Burst Energy, and so I've already looked into it, and I think I'm going to actually release the energy drink as well, alongside with the comic book. And yeah, just kind of stemmed from there. Basic concept for the movie is there's mall cops at the mega mall, and there's a midnight Black Friday sale happening, and they're giving out free samples of this energy drink. All the crazy Black Friday shoppers drink it, and same with some of the mall cops. And then all of a sudden they start mutating into mutants. But based on your personality is whether you turn into a good mutant or a bad mutant. So you've got all the good-hearted mall cops there who turn into good mutants. And then you have all the crazy Black Friday shoppers that literally would, kill each other for a Nintendo back, and so the mall cops, Mega Mutant Mall Cops, end up protecting the mall from all the crazy Black Friday shoppers. And I've gone down to a mall just down the road from here, and It was like it was meant to be. I went in there. They got the comic book shop. They've got a video store that sells VHS. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, there's not even DVDs on the shelf. It's just VHS as far as I can see, right? In this video store. And I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect. They've got makeup school in the mall. There's a film studio in the mall. I'm like, what? And, it's got the food court and the theaters and a couple empty stores. But mostly it's like 98% full, this mall too. And the majority of the movie would take place after it's closed. And apparently this mall is super film friendly. Some other stuff has already been filmed there. And it's 20 minutes from my house. So I'm like, okay, well, this is perfect, right? And so, I was looking at doing Cirque de Mortis next. I was also looking at a zombie Western. But I think this one, Mega Mutant Mall Cops, is going to be next. We talked to Amber Brooke, and she is down to act in it. So she would be our lead. Amber Brooke is in tons of horror movies right now, and she's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And hopefully this one can, put her over the edge. And then as for other cast, I haven't thought about that yet. But there's some pretty cool comedians out there that, that haven't been working a long time. I'd probably love to do a project like this. We'll see what happens with that.
Now, with all these projects you have going on, and I know that kind of like me, I kind of like having control of a lot of things. And I'm not saying I don't have much help, but mostly everything is almost 100% me. Are you getting any assistance with any of this? Because you have a lot going on. I don't know. How do you stay balanced?
It can be hard sometimes. Sometimes I have to just step away and not do anything for a few days. Take my son to Disney World or Universal or something like that. And then, having different things going on at the same time. Sometimes I like to just concentrate on one night, and then a couple days later I'll come back to the edit of the film. Because if I'm just doing one of those things, like just editing, that would just drive me nuts, right? So I kind of jump back and forth between the different things. Some might say that's kind of ADHD kind of thing, but I always get everything done. But and you got life too. You got life to deal with and bills to pay. And so right now, for bills, we're starting a Turo business. My car kind of transmission went, so we ended up kind of going and buying 2 cars, and we're going to rent out the second car. And then hopefully from there, build it, and then that income will replace other income too, right? So, and I have a little bit of help from my family right now as well, during that transition period between the two, because I had to do Lyft for a long time when I wasn't doing movies, like big movies, and getting paid $500 a day. I mean, as soon as my son was born, I basically left Hollywood in Vancouver, up in Canada, just because it was just me and my son. So I couldn't do it. I couldn't do the 16-hour days every day and have my son at the babysitter the whole time. I just couldn't do it. So I had to do Lyft for a long time. I had my film school up in Canada too, that I was running for a while, 5 years, but then COVID kind of just blew that one out of the water, and then we couldn't operate anymore. So I had to do Lyft, but now we're going to do the Turo thing and see how that goes. In Orlando, which I think it will do well. It's a good tourist town, and the vehicle we bought is very family friendly, and we're hoping that we get lots of families just doing Disney trips back and forth to the airport and hotels and stuff. Yeah, but yeah, it can be difficult, and that like I said, I had a bunch of family members. My first my grandma, then my grandpa passed away, and then my uncle just did 3 days ago. And before that was my cousin. It's been rough. But still going. And like that last album I made, certainly kind of helping with that.
And with everything you've had going on, so let's say when you're not creating, I know and you're not making the movies or the albums, and now, well, more projects coming up. I know you go on the shows and you go to Universal Studios and things like that. What else do you do aside from that to keep your mind off of things? Are you a gamer? Are you listening to other people's music? Are you? I mean, I know you're going to the shows, but you have any other hobbies that doesn't have anything to do with creating? It's just to
Other
take you away from
hobbies?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm enjoying seeing some of the people that acted in my movie. They're making their own movies right now. I think the only really active one that I like keeps showing up on my timeline is Satanic Circus. A couple of my actors are doing that one, and they have a Kickstarter going, so check that one out. Looks like it's doing okay too. Last I checked, it was only a couple days in, and they were at 2,000 or 3,000 already. So it's coming along, and they keep posting and all sorts of actors that are in their project. So I'm super proud and happy for them, because I want success for everybody. Like, I know sometimes in the indie world there can be a lot of drama between different filmmakers and stuff like that, and I hate that shit. I don't know. Sometimes I like my isolation over in Florida, away from it all. but but yeah, as for hobbies, on occasion, Assassin's Creed, I played every single one of them until I beat them. Right now I always play, NHL, and now I'm doing Major League Baseball because my son is into both now. and that's another thing too, is really investing in my son in his sports now, because he loves it. So he's a big hockey kid, and that was hard, because COVID derailed his whole hockey thing for years, because we were right in starting lessons when he was pretty young, and then COVID just shut it down right halfway through his first lessons, shut it down, right? So that got delayed, and then we moved from Vegas over to Florida, so that kind of pushed everything back again too. But he's been doing really good. He's done a ton of the Lightning made program here for hockey. He was doing the Vegas Golden Knights one for a little bit, but then we moved, and so he's doing pretty good. Then he's been doing some drop-in games, which are just kind of different age kids all playing together. It's not really organized. It's just organized chaos, I guess. But he's finally going to start on a team in September, so we're super excited for that. So they'll have practice game every weekend, 10 games off, and then his baseball season starts again. He's done the seasons aren't long, they're 10 games, right? But it's like 2 practices a week, 10 games. But he finally did his first baseball season and ended up getting most improved player over the year, because he's a rookie, never done it before. And he was on the Party Animals team, which was just awesome. I don't know if you know the Savannah Bananas, and they have a whole league, which is like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. They're hilarious. They do backflips and tricks when they play and everything. But his team was one of the teams they play against, the Party Animals. So it was the coolest thing ever. So he got the coolest jerseys, and the coolest team, the coolest coaches, and best teammates. And they did really well. They did 5 wins, 3 losses, 1 tie, and then but then there was they did a game that wasn't technically on the schedule, because one of the teams they're supposed to play went on a tournament. So they ended up they were in hybrid, so it was like machine pitch and kid pitch. But they ended up playing a team from the league above them in the minors, and these boys beat them like 14-5, I think it was that. Hunter just crushed the ball up to right field, and so it's just watching your kid have success, and even when they strike out and stuff, they're still having fun. And man, it was just like the best thing ever. So having no sports over the summer has been kind of like, man, we just can't wait for that season to start up again. So his next week on the 8th, he does his evaluation for the next team he'll be on. No idea what team he'll be on this time, but he'll be in the minors. So it's all kid pitch. He wants to pitch too, so he's learning how to pitch. And yeah, you see that. So, and then in September, it's going to be baseball, hockey. It's going to be a busy week. So yeah, a lot of my hobbies are my son's hobbies, and it's like theme parks, video games, sports, and going to a lot of concerts and a lot of sporting events and monster trucks and things too.
Oh no, I went to my first monster truck earlier this year. That was a lot of fun. Let me ask you this, because while we're on the theme, not to get too personal,
It's okay.
is your son showing any signs of getting into filmmaking or wanting to make movies?
Yeah, he has a YouTube channel called Hunter's Movies, and we haven't actually done a movie in a while, probably a couple of years. But he did a ton of short films where he's acting and his ideas and stuff. And he also incorporated his school into it, because before he went into the charter school here, which is like right beside our house, he was in homeschooling. And so we did projects for homeschooling, and then we kind of made it so he's got like a science section in his YouTube channel for all the experiments we did and stuff. So, and then we set it up like we just put the TV behind him and made it look like a science lab, like an evil science lab, stuff like that. So he did a lot of science experiments on his channel and a bunch of short films. And he did like a zombie one and a Ghostbusters one, and bunch of a Jurassic Park one, things like that. So I'm sure we'll do some more films together soon. Been so busy doing all this other stuff, right? But, and well, he's actually got a cameo in a toy maker. So he's got a few lines. He's got more lines than I do. I made a little cameo. And I just put out a clip on my social media, and it's got him in there too. He's wearing the red trucker outfit, which was kind of an homage to Six Wheels from Hell, where it's the same outfit basically, right? So I love little Easter eggs like that. Yeah.
Well, now see the apple isn't too far from the tree at this point, so this is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty soon you'll be going to the movies, watching some of his films, which can be the best thing in the world, really. Now, for our friends, listeners of Bonus Overdrive Wednesday, where would be a good place to start as far as watching some of your films or the films you've been in? What would be some of the standouts that they can go take a look at?
Well, Six Wheels from Hell is on a ton of platforms. The main one being Amazon Prime. I think you can watch it there for free with ads right now. And man, it's on Screambox and a ton of them. Not Hulu or Netflix, but a lot of the other ones. And then a toy maker will probably be the same, mind you. We're looking at different distribution options for this one. Six Wheels from Hell's in 60 countries around the world. It's also on Blu-ray and DVD on Amazon Prime, or just Amazon. And yeah, toy maker, we're going to look into different distribution venues. We have some people that have some theater connections, and we just want a better deal this time. You know, if we can actually get some money up front to make another movie, that's more beneficial than the deal that we signed for Six Wheels from Hell. So it's making money. It just hasn't broken even enough to pay us anything yet. But it'll get there. It's close. It's getting there.
Oh, good. And that's a whole different side of things. Now, me not
Mhm.
being a person that understands that industry very well or in it, when you're making a film and it finally comes out, are you working on distribution deals prior to making the movie or during it? When does that part come into play?
Well, with Six Wheels from Hell, as soon as we put our trailer out on IMDb, I had so many offers, and that's not always the case. So I think we got pretty lucky with the first one. So we were able to pick and choose what deal we wanted. I mean, some of them were not very good. Others were better, and so I looked at their websites and saw if they had way too many people on their roster, like way too many movies, and we'll just get lost in the shuffle. If they didn't have enough, I wasn't impressed with that either. So I went with one that was kind of in the middle. Um, they were all right, but I don't think they marketed us as well as I would have wanted them to. And marketing is a huge. You need marketing to be able to make a lot of money. And it's not like we're in this to make a lot of money. We just want to make enough money to make another movie and keep going and keep the cycle going and keep the cycle. And then eventually you got 10 movies making money, and then residuals hopefully come in at one point. So it's not easy, but that was our first one too, right? And yeah, everyone's first movie never makes any money. If you do, you're pretty lucky. And but what it leads to is more movies, because people saw that we did that one. They could go there, they can watch it, and that led to crowdfunding for a toy maker, which we raised 34,000. We had a couple fundraisers, so probably 40,000 altogether we probably raised on that one. And then some investors came in with a little bit of money here and there, and to help us finish it. And yeah, and then when we do Mega Mutant Mall Cops, we're really going to do a lot before we launch the crowdfunding this time. The mall that I want to film at has they have like their own little Comic-Con things going on there all the time, and they just had like a goblin market the other day and stuff like that. So I want to go check out a couple of those, and then talk with the comic book company when I finish the comic book, which is basically the script. It's there'll be the script will have a bit more than the comic book will, because some of the comic book stuff is limited. You're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to do that. But so I want to do a few events at the mall and get people excited about the movie before we do the crowdfunding this time. And I'm also going to launch the website, which people can get involved in the movie before the crowdfunding starts. So we might be able to raise some money before it even starts this time, instead of just relying on just crowdfunding. And so I'm taking a little bit different approach on this one. And then with the energy drink and the comic book, that'll be fun. Get a little following before we start. Yeah.
A lot going on, a lot coming out. Now, for those that want to learn more about you, because I know you're on X, you're on IG, elasticage.com/cybrid, and YouTube at Cybrid Entertainment. I urge those to go there and to learn more about you. Is there any other avenues we can go to learn more about your projects and what you're going to be doing next?
I'm mostly active on Facebook. There's a Six Wheels from Hell group. There's a toy maker group, but I think that one's more through the Cybrid Entertainment group, page. And so we do a lot on there. And then my personal Facebook, which is just Evan Allen, Florida. You can follow me on there if you can find me. Sometimes it's kind of hard to find people on Facebook, but I'm on there. And then eventually I'm going to relaunch our website. So it's Cybrid Entertainment. It might be .com. It might be .something. We're not sure what it's going to be yet. But simple Cybrid Entertainment search, you'll find all sorts of things, I guess. But
Excellent. And all the links to we just talked about will be on the show description. And let's do this, man, because I know you're very busy. But let's not go another year and some change without having a conversation. Let's bring you back, and
Yeah, no worries.
we'll catch up. You'll probably have a few more albums out from here till
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
And a toy maker should be already getting ready to hit the streets. And then we'll talk some more Mega Mutant Mall Cops because I think by that time you should be probably halfway through the whole thing. I look forward to talking about it on the show, and I look forward to catching up with you again in the near future.
All right. Thank you, man.
Thank you, my friend.
Welcome to the TCC Research Channel, home of Mysteries Unlimited TV, Let's Find Out with Diego, and the free documentary playlist. I'm Thomas Markle. Here on this channel, we explore Appalachian mysteries, cryptids, UFOs, folklore, and the paranormal. Every week, you'll find new episodes of Let's Find Out, Bonus Overdrive, live stream discussions, and original documentaries. We talk with authors, researchers, investigators, musicians, and people with real stories to tell. If you're into unexplained encounters, strange phenomenon, and deep dive conversations, you're in the right place. Hit subscribe and join us. There's always something new to explore.
All content on this broadcast is a property of Diego the Podcaster and is served directly from our servers with no modification, redirects, or rehosting. All celebrity impersonators are paid performers. The impersonated celebrities do not endorse or promote any views or opinions expressed by our guests, Diego the Podcaster, or Bonus Overdrive Wednesday. The information shared on Bonus Overdrive Wednesday is provided on an as-is basis, with no guarantees of completeness, accuracy, usefulness, or timeliness.